10 years ago, natural hair was everywhere, but now I barely even see it on YouTube. Is the natural hair movement dead in 2025? Let's talk about what's really going on, why things have changed, and what it means for us now. Now, let's start with the boom of when natural hair started really making a comeback. And I say a comeback because we know in like the 60s and 70s, they were rocking their afros, but in like the 80s and 90s, it started to become all about having a relaxer, or I used to say getting a perm. It's hard to pinpoint a specific year, but I would say the 2010s was a key era. A lot of people started ditching their relaxers and moving towards embracing their natural hair a lot more. YouTube was booming. We were seeing a lot of natural hair influencers popping up and giving us product reviews and giving us tutorials and really just guiding us on how to care for our natural hair and keep it as healthy as possible. These influencers were really guiding the movement, teaching us about how to transition from relaxed hair to natural hair. The big chop became a really big thing. A lot of people were cutting all their hair off specifically to get rid of their relaxer and just fully go natural. I even did a big chop in 2016. Best decision I ever made for my hair. There was more visibility in the media. There was more inclusion in the workplace. We got the Crown Act. We were seeing natural hair influencers thriving, and they were really helping to debunk the myth that black hair doesn't grow. Little girls are no longer getting relaxers at 5 years old because we now know how to care for and manage our hair, and we also have the products to help us do that now. Unlike previous years where we would just have a little tiny corner of a shelf in the hair store or in big brand retailers, there were not many products or brands catered or tailored to our hair, which is super important for young girls and the generations coming up behind us, because we're sending the message now that your hair is beautiful just the way that it is, the way that it grows out of your scalp. You don't need to straighten your hair for special events. Your hair is not unprofessional. Your hair is not hard to manage. We're throwing all of that out of the window, okay? And yes, the inclusivity and the representation in the media definitely helps when you're seeing that on social media, on commercials, just in movies and TV shows and things like that. But I think what's really even more important is your kids seeing you love and embrace your own natural hair yourself. If a kid sees you loving and embracing your natural hair, they are going to love and embrace their own natural hair. I just love that we've gotten to a place where we can really embrace that, and it has become the norm, because a lot of us, including myself, we did not see that growing up. So it's a different era now. So what changed? I think one of the biggest shifts was definitely in content creation. Apps like TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat started becoming more popular, and short form content just became the wave. Like, viewers and creators were moving more towards these popular platforms for content creation and for consuming content as well. And so they started moving away from long form content like YouTube. But in my opinion, short form content is a little less educational and more of a quick hack. It's not as in-depth as the long form content, like a tutorial that you would get on YouTube. You're just not getting the full picture. You know what I mean? So many times I watch shorts or reels or TikToks and I'm just left with a lot of questions. There's so much background information that's missing that I think YouTube fills in the gaps when it comes to that. I think another big thing could also be product fatigue. We went from having almost nothing to choose from to having an abundance of options. There has constantly been a new product coming out, a new line coming out, a new brand to try, and then you see a lot of mixed reviews online, and it can be a little overwhelming about what works or what to buy and what not to buy. And trust me, I've been there before. Even I get caught up. Like, you see someone online, their hair looks amazing, and you're just like, ooh, let me try whatever it is that she did. In actuality, we're not really being consistent. At least I'm not. We're not being consistent with one product or one brand long enough to know if it really is doing anything for our hair, or if it's, you know, living up to the claims that it states. And that's actually something that I've kind of been grappling with lately. Like, it's been a thought for me more and more, just choosing one single brand to use on my hair for a couple of months, like only use that brand's products and let it do its thing and see if it really makes a difference. Instead of like, just now I just buy stuff here and there, like whatever I see when I need a new shampoo or a new deep conditioner and I'm in the store and I'm like, oh sure, Mael this month, TGIN next month, Camille Rose next month, Fenty this month, like I'm all over the place. And then another thing that I think has contributed to why natural hair isn't as popular anymore is that it's just, the hype has died down. It's not the new shiny thing anymore. It's not trendy anymore. It's not as popular as when it's new and, you know, everybody is doing it and talking about it. It's kind of just, it's become normalized, which is a good thing. And we all know trends come and go and they revolve, they come back around, whether that's hair, fashion, whatever it is, it goes in circles. Like I was saying before, in the 70s, natural hair was the wave. Everybody was rocking their afro, and then it kind of died out. It switched to having a relaxer, but then it came back in a different kind of way, where now we're wearing wash and goes and twist outs and braids and locks. And then there's brands, because they want to make money, right? So when they see these trends, they want to capitalize off of what's going on. And they see the wave and they see an opportunity, which further feeds into the trend. Like, remember when co-washing was a trend? Sort of in the beginning of the natural hair movement, people were really saying not to use shampoo, to only use conditioner to wash your hair. That is what co-washing originally was. Now there are actual co-wash products, but co-washing originally started as, we don't want to use shampoo because there's harsh ingredients in it, it strips our hair, and we don't want that. So we're just going to use conditioner to wash our hair. Does that make any sense to you? Like, sometimes you just really got to think about it. That makes no sense at all. You cannot wash your hair with conditioner. I understand where the sentiment was coming from. Shampoos were very harsh and drying and stripping our hair, but we have to wash our hair. Conditioner does not wash your hair. And that's an example of brands capitalizing off the trend, which in a way was a good thing in this situation, because some people were walking around with dirty, funky hair. But yeah, brands were listening and paying attention, and they started to make products that were actually for co-washing. They started to make hydrating shampoos, moisturizing shampoos. They were leaving out the bad ingredients that we did not need in our hair, like the alcohols and the sulfates that were drying our hair out. So in that aspect, a good thing. And then remember the no oils and butters challenge or trend, I don't know what you want to call it, but that never made any sense to me, and it was so controversial. I was so happy it died just as quick as it came. So is the movement dead, or is it just evolving? I think it's just evolving. I'm happy that we are no longer using relaxers, because those chemicals are just, they're not good for us. They're not good for anyone, okay? I don't know if you guys have seen what it does to a Coke bottle, but you don't want that in your body.
So, I'm here with Professor Barry, well-renowned. Now, could you tell us exactly how dangerous sodium hydroxide is?
Sodium hydroxide will burn through your skin. The chicken is your skin.
Okay, so it'll go from my brown skin down to the white meat.
Right.
Wow. Now, you realize this goes in people's heads, right?
Sodium hydroxide?
Yeah, people, black people, black women, some men, you know, Morris Day, Prince, put sodium hydroxide in their hair to straighten it out.
Why would they do that?
To look white.
Probably what the sodium hydroxide is doing is actually breaking down the protein in their hair. If it gets down into the scalp, it'll kill it at the root, and you'll actually have bald spots there.
So if you're a beautician or something, and you deal in sodium hydroxide all day, I mean,
I wouldn't do it. If you breathe just the fumes from sodium hydroxide, Those fumes will ruin your lungs. They'll damage your lungs permanently. This is an aluminum soft drink can, and it's been in sodium hydroxide for just over an hour. Another aluminum soft drink can that's been in for about 3 hours, and then this one has been in for about 4 hours. It has disintegrated.
So that can's got a good perm.
That can's got a good perm.
We can get straight hair, silky straight hair, without the chemicals. A silk press, a roller set, the flat iron, whatever it is, the overall health of your hair and your body is way more important. And I really think people are just leaning into the versatility of natural hair a lot more now. Like, you might see us with the weaves and wigs and braids, but underneath that, they got natural hair up under that. So it's really just become more about choices. But natural hair is definitely not as popular as it once was on YouTube. All of the OGs, the natural hair girlies are just, they peaced out for different reasons. They stopped making natural hair content. Maybe they moved on to other content. Maybe they started a business and I don't know, now they just abandoned YouTube. Maybe they went to other platforms for short form content. But that just leaves space for the new natural hair YouTubers like me to step in and fill that gap. And there's a lot of others as well. I don't want to say small channels, but up and coming channels. We are definitely still out here. Some of my best performing videos are product reviews, natural hair product reviews, or tutorials on me doing my natural hair. And I love seeing comments of people saying, thank you for sharing this. This really helped me. So I know the audience is still there. People want to see it. And there's still, believe it or not, there are still people that are new to learning their natural hair. So I want to hear from you all. What do you think? Is the natural hair content dead, or is it dying, or are we just in a new phase? Leave your comment down below. I will respond to as many as I can, because I do see a lot of the girls going back to straight hair, and I have thought about it myself. But no, this is temporary, don't worry. I haven't committed yet. Don't worry, I'm not gonna do it. Now here's what I also want to know. Do you consider it natural if you only wear your hair straight? Like, is straight natural a thing? Because I'm a little conflicted on this one. I do believe that being natural is wearing your hair the way it naturally is, but I'm also all about versatility and doing whatever the hell you want with the hair on your head. So it's not really about a label, but more so, if it works for you and it's what you want to do, there's no rules to this. Do whatever you want. As long as your hair is healthy and it works for you, go ahead. So what's next? I think the natural hair movement will always be evolving. We are in a dip right now, but I think the popularity is going to come back again. I love that we are in a place where we have options. Like, we've come very far with how we can do our hair, the products, you know, where we can get our hair done, all of these kind of things. And if you're struggling, you don't know where to start, you don't know where to pick up, you don't know how to be consistent, check out some of my videos and subscribe to my channel. I will continue sharing my natural hair journey and my experiences and just spreading my knowledge. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.